Hi everyone, it's Heidi from Flutterbyheidi.co.uk, back again with another Sunday scoring project for you, and this time I'm using the Ribbon of Courage stamp set and dies, which is this one here, which has some lovely sentiments along with some ribbon shapes which come with coordinating dies. So if you're doing any fundraising where they're using a coloured ribbon, this would be absolutely perfect for that. And this card is actually, it looks like a very straightforward card on the front, but it's just it is a fancy fold because it's a I think they call it a Dutch barn card. So it's like that sort of split door on the front, or sort of, it reminds me really of like a stable door rather than a, I think of a Dutch barn as being slightly different. Anyway, I'll find out what it's called, but this is the card we're going to make, and it's just a nice easy one to do really, and I'm using this DSP here, which colourful colour theory, yes, Colour Theory. I keep calling it Colour Therapy. And that comes in 4 colours with these lovely designs. A really useful little sort of stash that you can just keep to one side, and useful for all sorts of occasions. So, without further ado, let's get on with the card. I shall need that bit in a moment. So, to start off with, you're going to need a piece of card, which is 11.5 inches by, you can do it 4 1/8 or 4 inches to make it easier for you. And you're going to score it, first of all, just to make a standard card base. So, it's 11.5, so we're going to score it at 5 3/4, like so. And then you're actually going to come down 2 inches. So in terms of centimetres, what I should have said is, so that's 29 by 10.5, and you're going to score down the middle at 14.5. Then decide which is going to be your front. It doesn't really make any difference, but line it up at 2 inches and then cut from, I'm actually going to do from the middle down to the bottom, like so. And then, I haven't actually scored very well on that. There we go, scored. There we go, just run my scissors along. That's not very helpful, is it really, for you if I lift it up to my face? There we go. And just cut down that score line in the middle as well. So you end up with a piece that looks like that. That is all the scoring that you need to do. So as I say, it is a really quick and easy card, just with some pretty layers. Fold that and burnish it with your bone folder. And that's our card base. And then the layers, we've got this layer of card which is 5.5 inches in width, and you want 2 of those, and they're 1 3/4 inches wide. So in centimetres, for those who are working centimetres, that's 4.5 wide by 14 centimetres. So you need 2 pieces like that, and then you want 2 pieces of your designer series paper. And I've already cut those, so those are just 1/4 inch less on each of those. So that comes in at 5 1/4 inches by 1.5 inches. So in terms of centimetres, that's 13.5 by 4 centimetres. So it's just a 1/2 centimetre less on the width and the length. So just use a little bit of snail to layer those on, and what I'm choosing to do is I've cut it so that we've got the lighter piece on the top. I can't remember which way I cut it. There we go, I cut it that way. So the lighter piece is going to go on the top and the darker piece is going to go down the bottom, and that's because we're going to stamp on that lighter piece at the top. This darker one is just straightforward layering. Actually, on this one, what I should have said is that it's often easier to open it out because it's white sitting on a white layer. Here we go. And then this one, we're going to just stamp on it before we do anything else. So I'm just going to take my my little heart, and I'm going to use the Berry Burst ink, which obviously is the colour in this DSP as well. And then what I was going to do on the first one, what I actually ended up doing was I actually stamped the central one off at an angle, which then looks a little odd. So I'm just going to, slightly wonky, but there we go. Okay, so then once that's stamped, layer that up. And then what I've done, which is, dear me, having a wonky day. Oh no, wonky day today. Right. What I usually do is get that lined up first. There we go. Like so. And then that just layers on the top there. And because it's lined up with the one below, just take your time in lining it up. There we go. Like so. So that's our basic card. And then what I'm going to do is stamp using the offcut that we had from the top of the card. I'm taking the ribbon stamp, and then literally that will just fit onto that. Like so. And then you've got the die, and this is where, if you haven't got a magnetic base plate, then just use a little bit of your washi tape or a bit of low tack adhesive just to hold that in place, because what you don't want is it to come out sort of too wonky. So what I do is, when you if I'm doing something like this where the pattern's on the inside, I just try and make sure that I put my low tack tape like so that it's, if it sticks to anything, it'll stick to the card. And then just pop that through your die cutting machine. I've got a big shot over here just off camera, because it's a large one. But literally, see how that just pops out really easily. And then with your die, what I do with particularly with dies that match a particular set, or one particular set, I have a piece of magnetic sheet which I keep to the side here, and then I can just put everything straight back in, and hopefully not lose it. Then I've used the floral symbol that comes with it. Oh, sorry, I've also cut out a plain one. I've used the floral symbol die to cut out these flowers, and again, you don't need to see me do those. And I've cut a stitched framelit out as well. Because what I've done, the reason for the dark pink one, is that when you open it up, I've put that on the inside as well, so you get that same effect. And you can see I've trapped the circle on the inside, so that you've got a solid piece on the back there. And obviously you can use whatever colour you want. So I've used the Berry Burst, which is lovely. So what I'm now going to do is do the sentiment, and what I found easiest to do with this is to sort of colour in the words. So I'm using the different sentiment. I'm using the Sending Love to You, and then with the darker colour, then come in. Probably got my head in shot there, apologies. And just come over. Like so. And this is the beauty of the Stampin' Up markers. You know, they come in all the coordinating colours, so you can make these lovely sort of, you know, detailed words. So just make sure you've covered everything. Give it a good huff, and then come in and just pop that in the centre There you go. Sending love and hugs to you. Take a 2-inch punch and just punch a circle like so. And then all I'm going to do is just come on the back of your stitched framelit, put some snail all over, and then just layer one of those flowers on either side, so you kind of get that really pretty effect. Come over with a little bit more glue, because obviously you've covered up quite a bit of the glue there, and then you can layer that on top like so. And then if you really want to finish it off on the inside of the card, just punch a circle out of some plain clay burst. And that'll cover up the back as well there. So you've got the pretty border on the front and you've got that on the back as well. Okay, so let me get my card back out. So now all that remains for us to do is to layer this up. Again, just pop it on the bottom half of that. Put some glue on the bottom half of our ribbon and pop that at an angle. And then on the inside, it's symmetrical. So literally, all I'm doing there, a little bit of glue showing, is just lining up the very top and popping that on the inside there. And there we have a pretty card. This one's a lovely sentiment: live every moment, laugh every day, love with all your heart. And this one, sending love and hugs. And both of those sentiments are in this ribbon of courage. So even if you didn't want the ribbons, it is worth it, just I think for those sentiments alone. I hope you've enjoyed it. A very quick one today. Come back and see me again soon. And bye for now.